So Space Jam.
Space Jam.
It's back. It's finally here.
It's back and it's better than ever, it would appear.
And look, there's an obvious storyline that people have been following with the newly revamped characters. But what I think people are not talking about is the horrible plug job that LeBron James got on his hair and the shoe shine that he put on his head just to make it seem like he still has hair.
Well, I mean, when you're in a world of perfectly animated characters, you got to look your best. You know what I'm saying? You got to look sharp.
They should have just deep faked his younger self onto his face.
With the headband and all and the baggy shorts that he used to wear.
But did anybody else notice in that article that the villain is an AI character, and it's all they're going full like 2021. It's in a computer.
What? No. Yeah. Nope. This segment's over.
Don Cheadle is an AI character.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of, I was going to say iteration of Nerd Shit Live. This week, Burke's not with us. So with me, as always, is Nick Haberstroh and Dan Kilkenny. As you know, I mean, since you guys made it this week, give yourselves a round of applause. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Just give a big happy birthday to Mrs. Burke.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Burke. That's right. He couldn't be here because it was his mom's birthday, which is a fine reason not to be here, you know, celebrating your mother's birthday. So what do we got on the plate for tonight, boys?
You tell us, Pat.
Oh, so glad you asked.
This is a skinny episode.
Yeah, no, it is a skinny episode. It's all right. It's whatever. That gives us more time to talk about our main topic later on. We're going to talk about WandaVision. And I think we're just going to go straight into spoilers because everybody who's going to, at this point, who's listening to this would have already watched it, at least in my opinion.
It's going to be hard to have a conversation beating around the bush of spoilers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think like the best way to go about it is just say like no spoilers would be like, I liked it. There's things I didn't like. I can't talk about those unless I spoil it. So, you know, so be it.
There we go.
And if you didn't watch it, you had all weekend and, you know.
Yeah, and
why are you watching this show?
It's not long. One of the biggest complaints is that the episodes are too short. So, you know.
Half of it is credits.
Yes, that's right. Half of it is credits. So
I mean, that's the best part, though.
Oh yeah, the appreciation for all the people who worked on it. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's actually my favorite part.
Every slide.
I clap every name until the credits are over. Yes. You know what's funny?
This one goes to you, lead graphic designer.
You know what's funny about that is that so apparently back in like the 50s, 60s when television was, you know, getting into homes, every single home, at a certain time, like they didn't have like 24-hour networks like they do now. They would just play the Pledge of Allegiance with a still image of the flag. And I shit you not, my third grade teacher told me that. And yeah, if you fell asleep and you woke up on the couch and the TV was playing, you stood there and you put your hand over your heart until it finished, and then you had to turn the TV. I was like, what? I would never do that. I'd be like, who's watching me? You know what I mean?
I don't even do that when I'm watching like football or baseball and they're playing the national anthem.
Yeah, it's just
that's what Donald Trump is talking about. He wants that America back.
This is the problem. This is the problem.
That was his biggest issue, is that people were not standing in their living rooms past midnight saluting the Pledge of Allegiance on a CRT TV. Which actually,
4x3.
Which actually, speaking of oppressive assholes, our first story is that finally a sequel to District 9 is on the way. District 10 has been confirmed that it is coming by director Neil Blomkamp. That's how you say his name, right? Blomkin?
Blomkin.
Yeah, Blomkin. Neil Blomkin. Look, I've been waiting for this since I had left the movie theater from the first one, and I don't believe it won Best Picture, but it did get nominated. It did get nominated, though.
It did get nominated. I think it won for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Which it should.
It was based off of his short. Actually, no, it did not win, but it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Visual Effects, and Best Editing.
Oh my God, it's such a good movie too. And like, here's the thing: great sci-fi always has some sort of undertone. It always has some sort of satire or message underneath it. And like, there's just it's just so perfectly done. Like I really do love the first one.
It's a rich film.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely rich movie. It's just a shame that Neil's next 2 movies were just so mediocre.
No, dude.
What did
Chappie,
he do? I don't know what else
Chappie
he did.
is not middle of the road. Chappie is straight up trash. That is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That I don't understand what happened with that movie specifically, like where he went wrong or how much coke he did. But do you guys know the plot of that movie at all?
Chappie, I have no idea. No.
Okay, so
Friendly Robot?
Yeah, exactly. Friendly Robot. However, instead of it being a movie where the robot learns, like, human emotions and, there's this whole arc and he's like, I'm not a machine, all that shit. It's just an hour and a half of this robot dicking off with these South African pop stars that cast themselves in the movie and play themselves in the movie. And then at the last 30 minutes, Hugh Jackman's like, I built an evil robot, and Chappie just fights it for whatever reason. Like, that's literally the plot of the movie. That's the events that take place. He learns to shoot guns sideways, use slang. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
That doesn't sound like it's supposed to be a blockbuster. That should be like a made-for-TV movie. You know what I mean? Like, that goes on Comedy Central, and that's it.
Charlton Copley played Chappie, too. What a waste. What a waste.
Did he really?
Yeah, which is a fall for grace from him because he played Vickus in District 9 and was amazing. Mm-hmm. And he played the guy who gets his face blown off, and Kruger, I think his name is, and gets his face reconstructed. Nick, have you ever seen Elysium?
I was about to ask. I haven't seen it, but it looked really bad.
Most mediocre movie ever. Danny and I walked out of the theater and were like, I don't feel one way or the other on this. Like, it's just okay. But there is this amazing scene where Charlton Copley gets his face blown off by a grenade, and they take him to a med bay, and they reconstruct his face. I
remember seeing part of that.
I think we might have showed you it in college.
CGI
it was so fucking awesome.
It was awesome. But yeah, that movie is the living embodiment of purgatory. Like, it's not that bad, but it's really not that good. Like, Matt Damon's in it, and he's there. However, like, the best character is Kruger, played by, how do you pronounce his name? Charlton Cooper?
It's Charlton Copley. Or Copley, whatever.
Dude, Copley. That's a South African guy. Really great actor. Actually, he's the best part of the movie.
Actually, going back to Matt Damon, how did he get sick again? Was it he stepped in a microwave or something? And like, I'm serious. I'm serious. There was something to that effect. It's like, oh,
it was something like that.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he had like a huge amount of cancer. It was a referendum on healthcare, and healthcare is on the moon, and only the rich can go there or whatever. I don't know. It's stupid. It's fucking dumb. It's what it is.
It was dumb.
But the action was good, awesome. Though. I did like the action because the action was like that super bloody, like District 9 type of action.
Mm-hmm. Just real graphic.
Yeah. But going back to District 10, just wild, rampant speculation, because that's what 90% of this show is. I really hope that they pick up right where they left off. Or maybe do some sort of time lapse to like now. But the idea of like where Vickus is and what he's doing, and that's Hugh Jackman from Chappie. That's like, look at that fucking haircut.
Oh yeah, look at that clip. That's like a 20-round mag in a 9mm. He's gonna miss a lot. So all those characters got plot armor, but I hope they pick up right where they left off. And if they do a time lapse, they fill us in with not exposition, but with like, have you guys seen the new Blade Runner? No, I haven't seen that.
There was exposition in that film, and not to ruin anything, but there's a conversation between Ryan Gosling's character and between Harrison Ford's character where they fill in the blanks of the last 35 years of that you're missing from the first to the second one, but they do it so organically, and just the storytelling's great. And that's just what I really hope for. You know, push all the action aside, push all the amazing special effects aside. I just really want the story to be just as good as the first one was.
So just, I'm going to put a note here for future me and later in the episode to talk about how to do good expository dialogue when we get to WandaVision.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. This is a good point. That's a good point to bring up.
For you there, which is something WandaVision couldn't do.
This is amazing. This is I like if this is gonna go the way I think it's gonna go now, I'm gonna be totally caught off guard.
It's a good thing we left a lot of space for this.
Exactly.
For this segment.
You're getting just a little taste, but yeah, no, I completely agree. I hope they pick up exactly where they left off. I had to reread what happened in District 9 just because I haven't seen it in probably over a decade, maybe. But just rereading it, I'm just feeling all those emotions just coming back, and then like the ending and just how sad it is. But I absolutely do want to see how he's adapting to his new life. And I just want to see like a montage of how they bring him up to like present day.
Well, you saw it. You know, he's eating cat food out of cans.
Have food looking for flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his life.
Yeah. Oh man, that's such a good movie. I'm gonna have to show Liz that movie.
I did see that Peter Jackson is going to be the executive producer on this, which he was not the executive. He was the executive producer on District 9, not the executive producer on Elysium and Chappie. Maybe that's what went wrong. Maybe they just needed Peter Jackson as a name at the top of it.
That's what's important here is Peter Jackson's money. And
exactly.
I think Guillermo del Toro was a producer on the film too. The first one, I think.
What?
Guillermo del Toro?
Let's look it up.
I don't see that on Wikipedia, but that's not the end all be all.
All right. But either way, I always get him and Peter Jackson mixed up kind of because you know they do kind of look the same, but
because of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all that.
Yeah, exactly. However, Guillermo del Toro will come up a little later in the show. Another nice little tease for you.
Well, now I don't even know what's going on. But either way though, the reason that District 9 got made in the first place was because they were trying to make a Halo movie and they were only able to get like 35 million raised. So Neil Blomkamp was like, well, I have this script, and Peter Jackson, in this case, read it and was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, all right, well, it's easier for us to make a $35 million movie than it is for us to try and make a $200 million movie, which it's kind of strange to me that Peter Jackson wasn't able to get just $200 million from anybody to make a movie. But I guess since he was not writing and directing, then, you know, obviously that's a little bit of a different lane, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think everybody here is excited for it. And obviously, if we're still doing this, we'll probably talk about it. So,
but right now, it's just the screenplay is being written, right?
Yeah.
It's just okay, but yeah. All right. Let's set our calendars for 3 years to talk about this.
Yeah.
On the next show, yeah, celebrating our 3-year anniversary.
We'll have 40 listeners as opposed to 4. So
you're pretty ambitious. Bro.
Yeah, that is a bit ambitious. You're right. That is. So moving on though, Disney Plus has announced their live action cast for the remake of Pinocchio, and so far, like I'm shocked. Kind of. I'm absolutely stupefied by this. Joseph Gordon-Levitt will be playing Jiminy Cricket. Tom Hanks is going to be playing Geppetto. Benjamin Evan Ainsworth is going to be Pinocchio. Don't know who that guy is, but he's going to be...
Oh, no, that's a typo. It's Ben Shapiro. Ben Pinocchio.
Yeah, Ben... Well, let's be clear.
He wants to be a real boy.
Ben Shapiro likes to pretend that he has free speech, but he's controlled by billionaires. That's how he's funded. Yeah. So, you know, he is also a puppet on strings. Keegan-Michael Key is going to be Honest John. Now, refresh my memory because it's been like 15, maybe more, like 20 years since I've seen Pinocchio.
I want to say, is that one of the kids that turns into a donkey? No, he's a Fox character. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, so I do know that there is a Fox character. I haven't seen the movie in a long time.
What does it say?
But I do just want to point out that while I was doing my research on Pinocchio, I came across that there's another Pinocchio movie that's going to get released this year.
And that's on God, baby girl.
What?
Yeah. It is a stop motion animated musical dark fantasy film.
Stop,
and again,
stop.
Back to what I was talking about.
Stop.
Guillermo del Toro is the director.
Stop.
Is it going to be in English?
I don't know. All
the names end in O. It's like Matteo Garrone, Roberto Beghini, Archimedes. Yeah, this is going to be a foreign language film, and I'm in.
I mean, listen. I like him as a director. Shape of Water was good. I love the 2 Hellboy movies. Pan's Labyrinth is the shit. But like, why? Why?
It is a dark, twisted retelling of Pinocchio, going to be released by Netflix. It was actually in development hell for a little while, and then Netflix brought it back to life at some point. They didn't announce it, but it was just brought back to life. So now, here's the cast going up against the Disney Plus live-action cast. Gregory Mann as Pinocchio, who I'm not sure who Gregory Mann is. Ewan McGregor is the talking cricket, is the character.
Okay, yeah, so they couldn't call him Jiminy Cricket. They
couldn't call him Jiminy Cricket. Ron Perlman, Christoph Waltz, Kate Blanchett, and John Turturro are in the movie.
I have a feeling this is going to be the better Pinocchio.
So we have dueling Pinocchio.
All of a sudden, I'm interested in this other Pinocchio. You know, let's be clear though. Neither of these Pinocchio movies was anyone asking for. Okay, nobody woke up one morning. You know what? We need another Pinocchio movie. However, if there's one of 2 Pinocchio movies, I'm gonna take the Ron Perlman, Christoph Waltz Pinocchio.
You know what's weird?
The Guillermo del Toro one.
I'm looking up Gregory Mann Pinocchio. Cannot find a picture of this person. I don't know.
He does not have a Wikipedia page, which tells me he's not real.
I'm seeing a lot of Finn Wolfhard.
Who is? Oh, I think I found him. Nope. I hope that's not him.
Nope, not him.
Well, so just like to kind of put it out there, it's like I've been extremely disappointed in a lot of what Disney's done, like with their IPs. But I mean, of all the movies to remake, it's nobody's favorite Disney movie is Pinocchio.
No,
go ahead,
no,
reboot it. When you start doing the Lion King and Aladdin, that gets me a little heated. But it's like Pinocchio, sure.
You're treading on hollow ground with that one, Disney. You know, they fucked up my 2 favorite Disney animated films in one summer.
Stop there.
We're gonna fuck up your least favorite ones too. But yeah, neither one of these did anyone ask for. But I love how even Netflix is in on the game on rebooting this story.
I mean, we didn't even mention Sophia the Seagull. Who the fuck is Sophia the Seagull?
It's a new character.
Oh, go perfect. What's Sophia the Seagull? Like, what political agenda are they gonna try and push with Sophia the Seagull? You know what I mean?
It's definitely gonna be like the character that was in the Han Solo movie that was like the robosexual like anarchist.
Oh,
like,
right.
Yeah, all right, let's just throw like some stereotype in there to get people all excited about it.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll infer that the character with the most swag is also fucking the robot. That's what we're gonna really heavily lean on. And everyone in the boardroom was like, "Good idea." Like,
yeah. I mean, that's why they made Don Cheadle an AI character in Space Jam. No more Lola Bunny. We need a sexy robot.
And Don Cheadle.
I think Don Cheadle is the manifest. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into it. Fucking, it's so stupid. But yeah, I didn't ask for either of these. It's just like, I mean, like it was like, do you remember when they were announcing the cast for the Batman like 2 years ago, and everyone was just like, it seems like they're more concerned about getting a good cast together than they are like. I would have rather of them not said anything and just made the movie and then put out a trailer. You know what I mean?
The Netflix one or the Disney one?
Either or.
However, I will be watching this Netflix one now.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I have to. Even the Disney one, like I really wasn't that excited about it. But now that I see,
I hope they put them out. I hope they put them out on the same week so we can do a dueling Pinocchios episode.
I think this Pinocchio is coming out this year. There's no date yet, but it's coming out 2021.
Oh, now I'm amped. Now I am excited.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel good.
Set your calendars.
I just
Set your calendars.
I gotta pull up this image and put it as my background because the Guillermo del Toro one looks horrifying.
Let me see it.
Oh, it looks horrific. It is going to be dark. And again, stop motion animation, which is the most uncomfortable animation you can think
Yeah,
of.
no, that's very true. Have you guys ever seen that? Have you guys ever seen that banned stop motion claymation kids cartoon on YouTube? It's like it explains death and life, and it's insane. I watched it when I was like stoned in high school like 6 times, and it freaked me out. But it's still up there. You can find it. It's fucking. But it's. I will never look at claymation again after that. Have you got the picture, Nick?
I'm pulling it up right now.
I'm good on claymation. Like, think every Tim Burton movie. Now we're gonna have that, but with Pinocchio.
Well,
and
I mean, I'm about like the older Tim Burton stuff before he like went off the deep end. That's all great, you know. It's like I'll take more of that.
I like Batman
Especially
and Batman
with,
Returns.
Like a craftsman like Guillermo del Toro, like he's an artist,
an auteur, if you will.
Yeah.
All right, let's see it. Lena.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Oh my God!
Oh
Why?
my God!
There's a trailer for this out.
He looks like he's in pain. There's a trailer.
Hey man, if your nose was doing that, you'd be in pain too.
There are no
sweet
strings
Jesus.
on me.
Hold on. Are we gonna do a trailer?
Is this now a trailer react?
Are we now gonna do a trailer react?
I don't have it set up. It's gonna take a minute, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll precursor this.
Oh my God! I think there's a trailer.
I mean, it has to if it says trailer HD.
Yup, there's a trailer.
Oh, so this is already made.
Yeah, no, again, it's coming
At
out
least
in
some of it.
2021. Wait a minute. Roberto. Hold on. Wait, who's Roberto?
Roberto.
Who's Roberto Benigini?
Wait, Boito.
You got Roberto de Benigini.
Benigini, hey.
He's.
Gabagool.
You can. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to pull up the trailer? Do we want to do a trailer react?
I mean, like, it's gonna take me a minute to set it up, and I don't want to waste the time on setting it up.
All right, if we got time at the end, we'll pull it up.
we'll do it at the end if we have time. All right, so moving on, everyone. This is a segment I just came up with the other day. It's called Pat Libs, and basically what's gonna happen. I tried other names. I just couldn't figure this is the first one that came to mind. Can you take that down?
I don't know.
I can't.
I can't do the show. I can't do the show if he's still there. I'm sorry.
This is just how I look.
So
Don't judge me, guys.
so
I got a bellyache.
basically. Holy shit, my nose hurts. So
This is what bad Pepto-Bismol will do you.
what do you think was in that Danish? So
All right, let's get to Pat Libs.
all right, so basically the way this is gonna work is I found a story this week that didn't show up on these guys' radar, and I thought it would be really funny if I told them these guys like this story as a mystery and then revealed what it was at the end. However, then we took it one step further, and I thought, let's make it a little game of Mad Libs on this show. So I'm going to ask these guys to fill in all the words, and then we'll read the story together. In the very last sentence of the story, we'll reveal what movie that we're talking about. Okay? These guys have no idea. I do not believe you guys Googled anything at all throughout the week.
No,
And
You didn't really give us. You were like, "There's a crazy thing in Hollywood."
yeah, exactly. I didn't want to like allude to anything or give you guys any notion of what it could be. So let's just start. First, we need a noun.
Dick root.
Dick root. Got it.
You want to alternate?
Yeah, we can alternate.
Need another noun.
Hemorrhoid. We got a real theme going on here.
I like where this is going already. All right. Next, we need a job title.
Pat, what's your title?
On this, AEM content manager.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Maybe like pimp.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, pimp. I like pimp.
Sorry to take your turn there, Danny.
No, it's fine.
Need a name.
Let me Guillermo del Toro.
I'm not gonna write that out. I'm just gonna,
just do Guillermo.
Yeah.
Guillermo.
Guillermo.
You could say Gmo for short. We'll know what you mean.
Gmo, G-Dog.
Guillermo. Okay. A verb ending in ing.
I'll do dancing.
Okay.
I was gonna say hemorrhaging.
All right, Pat, you pick which one you.
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with hemorrhaging.
Okay.
Job title.
Get another one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say astrophysicist.
There we go. That's a good title.
Have fun writing that one.
Yeah.
That looks good on a resume. You can't find that job on Monsters.
Name. Need another name.
Keith.
We got Guillermo and Keith.
And Keith.
What the fuck did I write here?
Imagine we're guessing all the correct names.
Adjective.
Bulbous.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I need first I need a movie prop.
Drildo.
Drilled.
I've never heard that term before, but I think I know what you're talking about.
All right,
That's
now I need an adjective.
Use bulbous.
Bulbous. The bulbous Drildo.
All right, I need another noun. Person, place,
Memory foam.
Memory foam. Got it.
Okay.
It was right off the top of the dome, you know?
You didn't look around or anything?
No time. No time looking.
All right.
at objects.
Need another job title, gents.
Okay, all right. Proctologist? Go with the
God
Halloween
damn it! Could you
classic.
guys pick anything fucking more obnoxious? All right, I'm writing it down.
The ass man.
I thought that was the point of Mad Libs, is to pick shit that's weird.
Yeah. That's weird and hard for the person
Right.
doing it to write.
Yeah.
Name. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, name.
Dwight Eisenhower.
Oh, right. I was thinking Dwayne. I'm glad
Dwayne?
Yeah, The Rock.
Dwayne? Oh, okay.
Dwayne?
Pat, did you finish writing Dwight Eisenhower?
Dwayne is down. Now.
Anal beads.
Got it. Nice and
Wait.
easy.
Did it need to be plural? What about just one anal bead?
I have.
You broke him.
Well, because I have.
They don't make singular anal beads.
Yeah, they don't
do
have
they?
anal bead. You know what I
They get
mean?
stuck.
You could break it off.
Yeah, but see, that would probably cause a medical issue. That's why they don't make one. You know.
I guess.
So, well, not that I would know. So, adjective.
Smelly.
Man,
Got anal beads on the mind.
The spectrum of crass to like okay is just all over the place. Noun.
Can we do more anal beads? No.
Scalpel.
Oh, all right.
You fucking serial killers are like, oh, scalpel.
Scalpel. Household
Oh,
items.
it's the proctologist's scalpel.
He's got to pull out anal beads, and what do you need is
All
scalpel.
right. Verb ending in ing.
Hacking.
Oh, with the scalpel.
With the scalpel, yeah. Or on a computer. You know.
Verb.
Not ending in
Bounce.
ing.
Yeah, just regular verb.
We'll do bounce.
Bounce.
Ooh, I like bounce. Me likey bouncy. Me likey bouncy.
What is that? What is that from?
Family Guy.
She takes a bite of the apple. All right. She takes another bite. All right. Plural noun.
Apples.
Man,
Can we change that to Randy Newman's?
I'm writing down apples.
Damn it. Please, another name.
Noun.
Randy Newman.
Sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hopefully I can. I'm not spelling these right. Verb ending in ing.
Mummifying.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, how many more do we have to go?
We only have a little bit.
Okay.
This is great. This is great content for our audience.
Incredible.
Incredible. Okay, job title and name again.
All right. Danny, you take name. I'll take job title.
Got it. I have the name. So,
okay. Mine is my job title is going to be Major League Pitcher.
And the name?
Hold on. Major League Pitcher.
Do you want a team that he plays for?
No.
Okay.
All right, name?
Ralph Nader.
Ralph Nader.
Nade Dog.
We got Ralph Nader, Guillermo, and Keith on the board. All right.
Found
page 2.
We need a name. We need another name.
Ron Paul.
Ron.
Ooh, there we go. Not Rand.
Ron, the original flavor.
The original.
And one last noun, and then we're good.
One last noun. Processor chip.
Okay.
All right, let's hear this story.
All right, boys, are we ready?
Born ready.
All right. Recently, it was reported that on dickroot.com that production of what's it called? Was it Hemorrhage? Oh no, that production on Hemorrhoid had halted after Pimp Guillermo was caught hemorrhaging with their astrophysicist Keith on top of the production's dildo. This bulbous catastrophe violates several memory foam protocols. Proctologist Dwayne was so mad that he said that to the film's anal bead, "You're the most smelly scalpel I've ever worked with. When we finish hacking this movie, I never want to bounce with you again. When it's time for apples, if you're still sarcophagus, I'm not mummifying back." Following these reports, Major League pitcher Ralph Nader has revealed she is now pregnant with Ron Paul's baby. Is it reality or just a wild processor chip? Guess we'll find out in 9 months. Either way, can't wait to enjoy 2022's The Batman.
What the fuck?
What?
First
Nader.
What is Ralph Nader doing behind the camera? Right, that's what I want to know.
All right,
but Jesus.
So,
all right,
that was fun. We should do that again. So
that was a lot of fun, but now I really need to know the whole story. However, from what it sounds like, we were not that far off.
It doesn't sound too far out of the realm of reality. So
they were hemorrhaging.
So basically, what happened, or what we've heard so far, that's going around the rumor mill. I heard this story that Robert Pattinson was caught doing the dirty with Zoe Kravitz on top of the Batmobile when they thought that the set was empty, and
That's awesome.
And Matt Reeves walked in on them while it was going on, and he had already had issues with Pattinson because Pattinson has like an entitlement issue and everything. And we've talked about that before, about how like he didn't want to work out in COVID. He didn't want to bulk up for the role. He just had differing point of view. Apparently Matt Reeves caught them and immediately started screaming at them because, you know, it violates COVID protocol safeties. And that's what the issue is.
That's the only issue.
Yeah. And,
one,
you know, besides for like fucking on top of a prop, that's kind of disrespectful. So either way, though, now it's he said to his face, like, "You're the most entitled actor I've ever worked with. I never want to work with you again. If if we come back for reshoots, if you're here, I don't want to be here." So now his future on the film itself and the future sequels is just cast into doubt now, all because of whatever this was. And Zoe Kravitz announced that she's pregnant.
Wow.
And I don't think that's a coincidence. Now, there's also rumors that they're secretly dating. Here's the thing. Take this all with a grain of salt, and I'm not saying it's true or it's not, but what I will say is that where there's smoke, there's fire. So obviously something is going down on that fucking set that obviously not everyone's having a good time.
What's interesting, I'm trying to find something about the story. I guess, now I'm seeing some exclusives about it. But either or, you got to admit, that's pretty baller. To fuck
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
That's the fucking coolest Batman move I've ever heard. Like if they put,
you know for a fact, Bruce Wayne was really doing that with Catwoman.
Yeah, bro.
Hands down, they
Exactly.
were fucking on top of, inside of the Batmobile.
Around.
There's definitely a fuck button on the Batmobile
For sure.
as well.
It's
There's
like
some mood lighting going on.
What's that Quagmire episode where he goes in and like he's like Peter's in Quagmire's house and he fucking turns the light switch and the light puts him to sleep and puts him on the chair and opens his legs up and then rips all his clothes off. That's the type of shit we're dealing with.
That's definitely what the Batmobile does.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, A, COVID protocols. That's a terrible thing. B, it's gross. Like, it's just gross. Like, to just be fucking on top of your props when other people then got to use and clean those props. It's just disgusting.
Also, have you seen what the Batmobile looks like? This one? It's all janky and like I'm gonna pull it up.
It looks like an American muscle car. It looks like a Charger or old school.
Yeah, but it looks like a car made.
So it's got
rust.
terrible gas mileage.
Yeah, but he got it. He got that money for it.
All I'm saying is it doesn't look comfortable to fuck on.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the adventure. Let me. I gotta see this thing. I gotta see it because this is. There's so many things morally and physically wrong with this, but at the same time, if you were Batman and you had the opportunity to do it,
listen, he's a character actor. He's trying to get into character. There's chemistry going on. That's what you want.
Where do you guys think they did it? Where do you guys think they did it? I think like in between like the hood scoop and like the left headlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
that little narrow space.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely there.
Well, they're
probably
narrow
right
people,
there.
And that's not a rude or criticism of their body type. They're just small people,
they're little people. But no, I mean, yeah, it looks like that car that what's it called? It was from like a show in like the 80s. I can't remember.
Oh, you're talking about Knight Rider?
Knight
Rider. It kind of looks like the car from Knight Rider.
Kip. He talks. Yeah, but Kip ain't got no. You think? I'm not gonna say that. He didn't have anybody banging on him.
Not that I want to really rush the show along, but it is 8:37. If we want to get into WandaVision stuff.
Yeah, you're right. However, that was our fun little game for this evening.
That was fun though.
That was fun.
We
should do that more often. We'll make more time for it though, because now we know how long it takes. So
and now I got to read more about this story because that's wild.
Yeah, it's insane. Everything good? You all right, Nick? You okay?
No, I'm just like, that's awesome. I'm not upset at all.
Yeah, no, this is not something that upsets me, and I'm not like, oh, how could he? Like, give me the opportunity, I do it too.
This movie and the possibility of, like
B-roll. Possibility of B-roll. You're right.
We were filming the whole time, but like, if this jeopardizes this like new version of Batman, like that would really suck. But that's fucking awesome.
What a
That's
baller
cool
reason for it to go down, though.
Yeah. Yep.
So, moving on though, gents. We finished WandaVision, as with everybody, I guess, because this isn't a show. The weekly episodes. Yeah. There is going to be no season 2. It was just this one season, this one series. They, to pretty much explain some more of the story of the characters that we love so much. And so let's just get started right off the bat. I think it's fucking awesome. Like, I don't have very many complaints. I know that there are some legitimate criticisms of the show, and I do have legitimate criticisms of it. But just we'll start with you, Nick. I know you got something to say.
Well, I like, just as an overall, I really enjoyed it. I really looked forward to every episode. The first 2 episodes, I kind of thought the pacing wasn't great, or the 3. So like those first 2 episodes, They really just said, hey, here's Wanda and Vision doing this thing, and no idea of what's going on outside of the Hex. And then a whole episode was just an exposition dump. It's like, all right, well, here's everything else going on, where they could have sprinkled it in. But once we got past that, I thought everything was really, really enjoyable, and I always looked forward to it. Yeah. But like you said, there are definitely problems, but I enjoyed the series overall.
I would agree with that for the most part. However, like I said in the beginning when we first talked about the first 3 episodes, I'm glad that Marvel just put something out that was weird and just let it be weird. You know, let everybody guess what's going on. You know, they're building this mystery, and I agree that the pacing kind of wasn't there in the beginning, but like I said, with episode 4, I was like, all right, then now I'm hooked. Like, I got to see how this ends. And even to that notion, I mean, like, you know, we'll get into the payoff, but I mean, I like the way they built the mystery and how they presented it to us in the beginning as like, here's what this is going to be every episode. You know what I mean? But then they slowly trickled in what was happening. But
I agree that it was unique storytelling. I thought it was a unique way into this, you know, very different character. And it, you know, just didn't follow the regular Marvel tropes as they always do. But I am probably in a different boat than you guys. I did not like the finale. I didn't really like the show much to begin with. And so I just felt like as the mystery was unraveling, you know, they had me hooked around like episode 4, where I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. This is fun. But then as the mystery started to unravel, then so did just the rest of the show. And then it just unraveled into what I felt was just an anticlimactic, boring ending of a series.
Which that is not...
At the end of the day, I just did not enjoy it.
That is not a hot take either. I've heard quite a lot that a lot of people are disappointed in the finale. Which, I mean, not to skip right to the finale, because there are some things that I do want to go over before we get there. I mean, let's just start with like the characters and the actors and the performances. First of all, across the board, actors, performances, this is like Paul Bettany, this is like some of the best work he's ever done, if not the best work he's ever done.
I have one exception.
Who?
I thought everybody was great except for the kids. Those kids sucked.
Okay.
They sucked ass.
Jesus Christ, you guys, they're kids.
No. There are children who can act their asses off, and those 2 kids were not in that group.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe that just goes to show how great the other actors were. That, you know, they were just so good that then you look at the kids, you're like, amateurs.
Like Elizabeth Olsen can carry a show. Yeah. She can carry a movie.
Although I still don't know what is up with her accent and why it's so fleeting.
Well, they talked about that. They talk about that in one episode.
I know they talk about it. Like, oh, there it is again.
They're just like that accent just goes in and out. Well, I think I mean, like from a production standpoint, I think they did it because like she's from Sokovia. She has this hard Eastern European accent. And then everyone just got sick and tired of it. So if you watch the Avengers films, it's like Age of Ultron, she has the accent. Civil War, it's starting to disappear. Infinity War, it's pretty much almost gone. Endgame, every time she speaks, it's gone completely.
Age of Ultron, she lost it midway through the movie. When you meet her in the beginning, she has the accent, and then at the end, the accent is gone. Like, I remember sitting with Katie in the movie theater, like, didn't she have an accent? Where the hell did it go? She loses it midway through the movie. But other than that, outside of the accent, Elizabeth Olsen did an amazing job carrying this show.
No, she's great.
And again, Paul Bettany was great as well.
And this, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I always, when I go see a Marvel movie or an Avengers film, I was always like, I'm here to see fucking like 4 different people, and then everyone else is just cool to see on screen. I look forward to seeing Scarlet Witch now in every property she's in now, because this did so much for her character. And it also did a lot for just her journey in general, like seeing what she went through and how she got to this thing, and just really like what her power level is. Because they always said she was the strongest Avenger, and that's always been true based upon, you know, the literature that they've based this off of. But personally, like, you just didn't see it. But now that she is the Scarlet Witch, like now that she has that power and she's able to read that book and do like the astral projection shit, like with Doctor Strange was doing in his movie, that I mean, like they even said it. They said like you're stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme. You know what I mean? Which he's the strongest magical being. So I guess she's got to be some some serious shit.
But what's interesting is that I don't know too much about her character in the books or in the comic books. Is she like this foretold being who's gonna like bring the end of humanity or something like that? Like they said she's apocalyptic.
No, she's just a mutant. That's
all she is. I thought they said she was brought about by like chaos magic and gonna end the world.
There's a run called House of M where she pretty much like changes the fabric of reality and everything and really tests her true form. But all this apocalyptic shit, you got to remember, they had to justify calling her the Scarlet Witch and making her so imposing now because Marvel did not own the rights to that character until they just bought Fox, because she was a part of the X-Men squad, because her and Quicksilver are Magneto's children. That's how it works in the comics. So when they were able to use her for Age of Ultron and introduce her, they just called her Wanda Maximoff because they could not refer to her as the Scarlet Witch. So
are you saying that her daddy in the last episode when she was looking at the past is not her daddy?
I think this is an alternate version of the story.
Yeah, I think this is just their take on the story.
Well, the one question I did have, and Pat, you might be able to shed some light on this. Did they go into at all how Quicksilver gets his powers? Because like they talked about how Wanda,
dude, it
was like
so
maybe
long.
It was internal and touching the stone kind of unlocked it in her.
It's been so long, dude. I have no idea. I mean, I mean, like they're just mutant children, they have the X gene.
I don't know, but that's the thing. It's like the way I interpreted it was this is not a mutant. In this version of the story, she's not a mutant. She's
she's a mutate. Yeah, she's a mutate where she gets her powers after the fact. They don't come from her genes. They come from whatever.
Well, I was gonna not even a genetic thing. It just seems like it's more of a a magical type of thing, which is cool to me. It's like that they're able to kind of weave in stories that exist and kind of come up with their own spin on them. They're not really tied to any existing comic book property. So
I do like the fact that she joined Hydra. I do like the fact that she willingly joined Hydra and she didn't know what she was getting herself into.
Yeah.
Yeah, characters, performance across the board, everything was good. Everyone shits on the kids. Paul Bettany, great. Production quality.
Production was great.
Like I said, the whole series cost $250 million to produce. Everything looked great. The special effects was awesome. I know some people are disappointed in the finale because it didn't look like do you guys remember what Thanos and Doctor Strange looked like when they fought in Infinity War? Like how they were like doing all these crazy, like I get it, but at the same time, like she only knows how to do that. You know what I mean? She doesn't know. She just had learned that rune trick. You know what I mean? Before this fight happened.
Who cares? It's like that was a big epic movie that concluded a decade of films. This is a tiny little, TV show.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that because I have notes written down for that shit too. But what were you gonna say, Danny?
No, I was just gonna say, but I even will say that the Vision v Vision fight, even that at parts did not look amazing. There was something about the texture of Vision that just didn't look great, which again, that's such a stupid thing to complain about, but for the sake of talking about the show, that is just something I will bring up. It didn't look super polished.
The ship thing. I loved that. I loved the whole
ship of the I'll get to that because that was the stupidest freaking thing.
You thought that was stupid? I thought that was fucking genius. I was like, well, they're both supercomputers, so it makes sense.
I hated everything about White Walker Vision. Just all of a sudden he just appears and then they have a conversation about a made-up ship and then he does like the thing that touches his head and then all of a sudden, I'm Vision. Doses.
So Vision originally, like when Vision dies in the comics, he comes back as that gray Vision. He has all the memories, but he has none of the emotions. So that's what they were trying to get along. And I can kind of agree that it was not done as smoothly as you could do it in like a full character arc of a film. But I do enjoy the way they pulled it off, how he played to their strengths. Where like they both like they're equally strong. So they either gonna kill each other or it's gonna be nothing. You know what I mean? They're both gonna live. So the way that what's it called? Fake Vision was able to, or Imagined Vision was able to overcome that fight was to basically be like, play to their strengths, you know, like, hey, we're both the most intelligent beings on the planet. Like, here, I have something for you. You know what I mean? Let me throw something at
like
you.
I have a way to reason with you. Because the thing is, as we're watching like the fight, which is happening in like the first maybe 5 minutes, the first Vision fight, like as I'm watching it, you're starting to realize that these two are not going to beat each other. Like they're like the way they're maneuvering around each other's
phasing
moves,
through
they
each
know
other.
exactly what they know exactly what the other Vision is going to do. And that's part of the reason as I'm watching this, I'm just thinking, this is not an action show. Why are they trying to give me this climactic action sequence when this is not what the show is about?
Yeah, I would agree. Bombs and Bullets comes 2 weeks from now. The action show that they did comes in 2 weeks, you know?
That's where I want the action. This was an emotional show.
Yeah, and that's, you know what? Actually, on that subject, this show is about processing grief. That's what this show is.
And
this show is about somebody who had a horrible fucking life, and episode 8, was it, when she pulls out the fucking deed to the house and Vision bought the plot of land. Like, first of all, how does he even do that? Like, and he had to use Tony's money, right? That's the other thing I kept coming back to. Thank God.
He can hack the internet. And he can get, you know,
thank God.
The same way Ultron did.
Thank God Tony is dead, because I kept looking at Liz. I was like, you do realize that if Tony was alive, none of this shit would happen, right? Like, Tony would have taken Vision's body. Like, that was the other thing too. How did they get Vision's body? Like, the Avengers were there, and do you honestly think Tony would have allowed that? You know what I mean? Like, really think about Tony Stark for a second. You know what I mean?
No,
and like,
detail goes unnoticed.
And that's the other thing too, is that they said like Vision had a living will and everything. It's just like, how? You know what I mean? Like, how? So
those things I think are excusable, very excusable.
I mean, in the overall picture of the quality that we got, I would agree with that. Yes.
I would say that the point that Danny brought up is the more kind of like damning, where it's like that episode should never have ended them flying and doing this crazy battle. Maybe, you know, like magic, sure, you know, that's cool, but it didn't need to be a big epic finale.
It was an emotional show, like you said, Pat, about grief, about coming to terms with lost loved ones, and about PTSD and a traumatic childhood. I was hoping for more of an emotional catharsis to be the climax of the show, as opposed to an epic battle where, oh, I ruined you after you ruined me, and then all of a sudden she lets go, everything goes back to normal, and then she just puts her hood up and disappears to Nova Scotia just to go live in a cabin.
Ralph Boner didn't do it for you, Danny.
Ralph Boner.
You know, I thought long and hard about Ralph Boner, and he didn't get me there. But no, it was just, I was hoping for more of a catharsis. But one thing that I did like was the fact that the entire town was pissed off at her.
Yeah.
I did love how she walked through everyone, and they're all like, "You bitch."
I like how they sprinkled. I like how they sprinkled in that little part of like where she was like, "I'm just trying to see my daughter. She's been locked in, she's been locked in the cupboard or like the fucking closet for like
dying."
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just like, obviously, it's fucked up. And everyone always kept, and that brings me to my next point. Everyone's trying to find the villain of this show. There isn't really one. You know what I mean? Because
I would say Wanda, kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. And like, everyone's like, "Oh, Agatha, it's been." It really isn't, though. It really is not, because it was more of like, Wanda created this thing, and Agatha was over here and was like, "Hey, what the fuck is that?" And like went over to check it out. You know what I mean? Because
being the nosy neighbor.
Exactly, the nosy neighbor. And it's just like, I kind of in that context, it's almost like Avengers in Endgame, where their plan went it went according to plan. Like, they got all the stones. They snapped everyone back. You know what I mean? And then Thanos just followed them through time with the Pym particles. And then that's when the battle happened. You know what I mean? There was no real villain, so to speak, And I like Agatha as a character. I thought she was interesting. I like what they did with her in every single decade. I like how they sprinkled.
Did a great job.
Catherine Hahn. Yeah.
Yes,
They sprinkled in these little little hints throughout the way. And like I said, I really appreciate those things. But then when you really think about it, the only thing she contributed to the plot was giving us the exposition dump and teaching Wanda how to use the runes just for her to use that in the battle at the end. You know what I mean?
Yep. Which, to me, that's what I was referencing earlier in the episode, where it's like, okay, the Chekhov's gun was in episode 8.
Exactly.
Then there was the big reveal. It was like, oh, she's using runes. And Catherine Hahn goes, runes. And then Wanda goes, only the witch who put the runes can cast a spell. It's like, yeah, you told us fucking like 45 minutes ago. Like, maybe if that came into play earlier, it would like, you're restating it, and it's just like, oh, that was terrible, right?
Yeah, it's not the best execute. Not only that, like, you know, let's talk about the attire, okay? Wanda went to battle in fucking sweatpants, all right? She like us, all right? She from the streets, okay?
She's working from home.
She was working from home. She was working from home. You know, and I here's the thing. I get why people are upset at the finale, because it you know, it did have, for me, when she said, you know, we've said we're saying goodbye this time, and Vision was like, so it stands to reason that we'll say hello again. You know what I mean? And she's letting it all go. She's finally like, I need to do right. I need to figure myself out, everything. That for me was the emotional payoff of the story. And before that, when you see how she created the world and how much she lost and everything, I felt like those parts were enough for me. The parts that I thought were fucking dumb was when Monica Rambeau, who, you know, I mean, I guess Quicksilver's rolling in his grave when Quicksilver can't phase through bullets, but Monica Rambeau can all of a sudden. You just see, she says to her and she goes, they'll never know how much you sacrificed. It's like, do you think they care? Do you think they give a shit?
They are not going to forgive her for anything that she did.
Yeah.
She enslaved their minds.
Yeah,
she literally enslaved their minds.
And
they're never going to forgive her.
This goes back.
She got through. She got over it. Though.
But did she?
This whole situation.
Did she actually?
This whole situation throws back to Civil War when Cap and Tony are talking about how Tony locked Wanda up in the Avengers compound, and Tony says, well, I'm sorry, Steve, they don't exactly give weapons of mass destruction visas. And he's like, she's not a weapon of mass destruction, she's a kid. And like they get into that screaming match over it, that really tense moment. But like Tony's right, you know what I mean? Even in death, he's right. She's dangerous and she doesn't know how to control her powers or her emotions for that matter. Mm-hmm. So let's actually get to the reward that she gets, is that she becomes the Scarlet Witch. And at the end of the very episode, we'll talk about the post-credit scene now. The first thing is Monica Rambeau. Have you guys seen Captain Marvel at all?
Yes.
Okay, I would imagine if you didn't see Captain Marvel, then you have no fucking idea what happened in the movie theater. So, Danny, just to bring you up to speed, Captain Marvel involves the Skrull invasion of the Earth. And that's going to play into Secret Invasion, which is another series Marvel series that they're doing later on Disney Plus. And basically, when she says like the guy upstairs wants to talk to you, you know, immediately.
Nick Fury?
Yes, it was Nick Fury. But I immediately thought like, oh, okay, there's, you know, somebody upstairs in like the, you know, I guess in the top part of the theater or something. I listened to a podcast this morning that said like, I thought the host was just like, I thought for a second that it was like a nest of raccoons or something like, cause I had no idea what they were doing at that point. And
it's Rocket.
Yeah, it's Rocket. Kat Dennings has one line in the series finale and fucks off. They were just like, yeah, she turns out she doesn't like debriefs. No, like, what the hell?
That must have been, she must have just like scheduling conflict. Like, yeah, we're not doing any more filming.
Yeah. We're just going to have you crash into this guy, which, by the way, before we get into the post-credit scene, I just want to acknowledge the absolute best part of the entire finale was when that agent from S.W.O.R.D. unloaded his clip at 9-year-old boys. And it was just and then what's her name gets in the middle of it, Monica gets in the middle of it, and then he doesn't stop. Like, he's not even phased. He's just like, oh, I'm shooting her now.
I thought it would have been...
that's where Marvel has to give you, like, bad guy being bad for the sake of being bad. He's got
exactly.
He's just bad.
I honestly kind of felt like the second post-credit scene. Let's do that, and then we'll get into fan theories, because that drove me up a fucking wall. Second post-credit scene. She's in Nova Scotia, or that's what we're gonna call it for right now. She's in Nova Scotia,
Nova
she's
Scotia.
doing.
I figured it was Sokovia.
She's out there with a cup of tea. And then you see her astral projection reading the book and learning how to be the Scarlet Witch. So obviously going forward, you know what that means. She's getting her own movie. It's set in stone. It's going to happen after she's supposed to appear in Doctor Strange Multiverses of Madness, which is then going to influence Spider-Man 3, as well as Eternals and shit like that. So overall, though, no, I'd say it was pretty good. I liked it. There was some disappointing moment. Like, one of my disappointing moments would be that, like, I really thought Vision was gonna be Ultron, like the new Vision was gonna be Ultron, and I was like, ooh, here it comes. And then when he started talking, I was like, God damn it. But that was my only problem. The problem we seem to be having right now, and this goes for the whole fan base, and this is why I don't follow fan theories or anything, is because everyone on the internet is pissed off that, John Krasinski didn't cameo as Reed Richards, or Magneto didn't show up, or Pietro really wasn't the Quicksilver. He was Ralph. It's like, you
Ralph
fucking
Boner.
did that, though. You did that to yourself. Or, like,
Yep.
My favorite is, and shout out to my buddy Lewis, he was like, dude, Wanda's gonna be a mutant. They're gonna show it. It's like, I was like, I told him, stop it. You and all the fucking people who are like, they're bringing the mutants into the MCU. This is it. It's like, enough. When they announce the mutants, you'll fucking know. That's $1 billion property they have right there. They're not just gonna
shoehorn it in.
Yeah, they're gonna hype that shit up beyond belief. And we also got confirmation that they are developing a movie. The title is already out. It's just going to be called The Mutants, not the X-Men. It's going to be called The Mutants.
I mean, all that you were just saying, and like the fan theories and everything, that's just neckbeards being neckbeards.
Exactly.
Just,
and that's my point.
They're just beards are just getting thicker and thicker as they're just more and more upset.
And that's my point exactly, is that, like, your own disappointment with something that it could have never been or was never supposed to be the plan is your own fault. Like, if you're
wishing
upset
it would happen
because something didn't happen that wasn't even in the realm of possibility or hinted at, that's on you. That's not on anyone else but yourself. I mean, because, like, the way I critique things, or the way I just take them as they are, and I talk about what I don't like and what I do like. Very rarely do I sit there and I'm like, here's what I wish would have happened, or here's what, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't. There's nothing fucking to do there.
There's nothing more exhausting than watching, like, a YouTube video, like, just talking about the series. All I want is a YouTube video talking about WandaVision. What did this guy think of WandaVision? And all it is conjecture and wishing, and where was this and where was that?
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
did they do this? It's exhausting for that guy to just exist.
Exactly.
And for him, he's constantly just wishing things to happen that will never happen.
And I think you can critique, obviously, you can critique a series or any property on its merits. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can hold it to what it did and didn't do right. But you shouldn't shit on something because it didn't go the way you wanted it to. You know what I mean? Like, on some made up basis, like some trumped up charges of a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I read some tweet today that was like, the show is called WandaVision, and it's based upon how Wanda and Vision are in the show, but it's also a double entendre because it is a frequency that Wanda herself is putting out based upon the television shows she used to watch. So basically, WandaVision, television, Wanda, and, it's all these different layers. It's not Wanda, Pietro, Magneto, the X-Men, Agatha, Mephisto, Nightmare.
Well,
like,
I mean, while you are right, it's like everybody did kind of theorize that all these other characters were going to get involved. I do think they kind of put too much stock in all these other characters. Like Agatha, like we said before, Agatha was cool, but they kind of like the misdirect, having her just be a big misdirect. That was some like dead weight. It's like just to have a big epic battle at the end. The whole military thing with Sword, where like the guy shooting at the kids, it's like could have cut all that out. I mean, it was nice to have that, to kind of give like Jimmy Woo and Darcy and all those characters something to do, but it didn't have to be a big epic battle. It should have just been an intimate story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They did kind of do that to themselves. Like kind of made it a little bit too grand.
You look at something like Civil War. The huge battle in that movie happens halfway through at the end of Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
The last battle in that movie is between 3 people. And the reason
it's emotional.
Exactly. It's emotionally heavy, and not only that, it incorporates the past of all the characters in what it's just this multi-level like holy shit moment. I think the villain in that movie is kind of lame. Like, how do you burn an empire? You have them fight themselves. It's like, yeah, but you didn't think of that. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't.
You just happened to fall
fucking
into it.
come up with that. Like, what manifesto did you read? But and he's actually the villain in Falcon Winter Soldier, or so we'll see. But yeah,
No
so
conjecture.
that's my
No
critics.
conjecture.
That's my critics. That's my critiques. I think the mystery element was cool. I think the reveal and payoffs were kind of weak. Characters and performances, besides for the kids, were fucking awesome. The villain wasn't really a villain. She was still cool to have around. The finale was just okay. We still got the cathartic payoff, at least in my book. I mean, fucking Liz was sobbing right next to me on the couch. And
what was there to cry at? There was nothing to connect to. What? There was no connection.
well, when it all goes away and she says goodbye, I thought that was kind of sad.
That scene in the living room.
And that scene in the living room where like he said he just wanted. He said like they said light when you don't turn off the light when you say goodbye. And she was like, "You're lying." And he's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to see you more clearly one last time." Like, that's really fucking sad. Okay, like I think it's sad.
It's sad. I don't know. Something about that just didn't land.
And
it
just
didn't land at all.
This criticism about based off of fan expectations and theories is absolutely bonkers, and I will not have it. I will not have it. Not on this fucking. This is my corner of the internet. Not over here, motherfuckers. Not over here.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I didn't like it for what the show was. That's the reason.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You don't have.
So the one thing the final note that I wanted to put on was I thought Monica Rambeau, I thought she, whatever the actress's name, I thought she was fantastic, and I thought the way they have kind of molded that to put her trajectory going forward in the Marvel universe was really cool. Randall Park, awesome. Darcy, awesome. Like all those characters, I feel like they don't get enough. Everybody's busy talking about Wanda and Vision. Like those characters were awesome. I loved those parts of the show the best.
Yeah, it was strong acting all around, except for those kids.
All right,
kids.
Clip of the week. No.
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
Oh shit. All right, boys, let's do this shit. All right, can you guys see it?
Not yet.
Oh, is it?
Not yet.
Does it start off with a black screen?
Oh.
Do we do? Okay,
Oh, there we go. I sees it.
All right, we ready? Let's do this shit.
Oh yeah.
Ready. Uh-oh.
I don't understand. Let's.
Oh, that doesn't sound right.
That doesn't look great.
I don't know much
That's
about
something.
cars. But I don't think it's supposed to rattle like that. Ooh.
Now you want to talk about a misdirect? WandaVision, that's how you do it. All right.
There you go.
I thought it was going to explode at the end. I'll be perfectly honest.
It probably did
have
after
to watch
that.
an explosion. So I'm guessing the cloud of smoke was so thick that the other car couldn't even see him.
I was gonna say, like, did they put like a vape cartridge in this fucking car? Like, what is going on? Like, hold on, I just want to see that.
But who drives headlong into a cloud of smoke?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
That guy was still going 20 miles per hour.
I question every week we do this. I question the sanity of people in this world, you know, like, and this is why we'll never get out of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so much stupid shit.
So for people who are listening, though, it's just a guy. He's got some car that's just billowing smoke out of the back of it, and another car.
Pure
just,
white smoke.
White smoke. Oddly enough.
I don't know if that's worse than thick black smoke, but either way.
Yeah, this looks like they're about to announce a new pope.
Yeah. It's exactly what this looks like. And look at this. He just fucking cracked.
Oh.
That's a satisfying crunch, too.
Yeah.
I like how
Nobody got
nobody's
hurt,
shocked,
but-
though. Nobody's shocked, you know? Everyone's like, oh, you know, that's what happens, you know?
It's a typical day in the life for Dimitri.
That's what happens when you're billowing smoke. What is he doing, though? Like, it's... Like, how is he getting all
you know
that
what I just
smoke
noticed?
come out?
Look at the back. Look at the frame. Look at right back here.
Oh,
You
yep.
see it? He's
It's
like,
not-
It's like Jaws.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
What did
I
he
love
say?
that sound.
I think it sounded like, you know, like SpongeBob. You're good. You're good. You're good. You know? Just listen.
Yeah, damn, feel like.
Yeah, damn.
Goddamn.
God damn.
Are they speaking English?
In the beginning, I thought they were speaking Russian, but that sounded
Yeah.
like goddamn to me. Go back to the very beginning.
All right. Here's good.
I don't think that's English.
We'll have to check the
That's
license
not
plate.
English. That's definitely not English.
Не знам, брат.
That's not English.
That's number.
Here comes seat in the back.
Dimitri, look out.
Yeah, and that's like a fucking Dacia, dude. You won't see that on the streets
Yeah,
in,
that's true.
in America.
I do love how it does sound like he says, God damn.
Goddamn.
That's universal in every language.
Yeah,
God
damn,
damn.
feel like, but.
I like how
God
no
damn.
no one was like ooh or anything, you know? It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
This is a deleted scene from WandaVision where they went back to Sokovia.
all right, Wanda.
This is what was actually going on outside.
All right,
This is when my
Wanda.
family was in Fender Bender.
This is what they call a 5-point turn, okay? It's just oh Jesus
damn,
Christ.
My father suffered from the whiplash. It was minor, but he had pinched nerve after that.
He was never the same after
He
that.
was never the same.
And he
never
did
played
not
ball with
forgive
us.
me. He could never hug me again.
He always, every
His
time we
accent
went on,
in and out.
Yeah.
yeah, every time we went on long road trips, he would say, "I have to pull over. You know, I have that pinched nerve in neck. You remember that accident? It's pinched nerve."
He cracks his neck and he turns around. He's like, "Hey, honey, how you doing? Yeah, so my neck, it doesn't really feel too great anymore." And then he cracks it again. And he's just back to Sokovia, and he's just, "Oh, my neck," you know.
He had to sleep on the couch for the rest of his life because it was the only place he was comfortable.
It's firm couch.
All
His
right.
firm couch. Although after that, he could never sleep with his wife again.
All right. Well,
That's what did it.
with that being said, thank you so much to everyone who's watching or listening. We appreciate every single one of you. And that being said, you can always listen to the audio version of this if you want to catch up on any major podcast platform. Once again, the show is Nerd Shit Live. I'm your host, Pat Naprano. With me, as always, is Dan Kilkenny, Nick Haverstro. Mike Burke isn't here this week because happy birthday, Mrs. Burke. Right?
Happy birthday, Mrs. Burke.
And then
Give her a drop.
you-
Give her something good.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
so with that, we'll see you next week.